with the victims of the floods in Rio Grande do Sul. Now then, time to focus on the action and time to focus on what should be a fantastic game. Damien Schumann, who's your money on?
Well, I have to say America, and I have no confidence saying that whatsoever.
Here we go. First quarter-final on centre court is underway, and a thundering serve from Duda, playing alongside Ana Patricia in the green, the Brazilian pair, #1 in the world and #1 seeds here at this tournament. But they're up against the world champions, seeded 2 here in Brasilia. We've been a little in and out. Cheng and Sarah Hughes looking for a stable performance here against their arch rivals and potentially rivals for gold come Paris 2024. And that deafening sound from the centre court crowd here in Brasilia will continue, especially every time that Duda and Ana Patricia win a point. Simon Golding with you for this one. Wherever you are in the world, we've got courtside seats for you as always here on VBTV. And alongside me, our volleyball world expert analyst Damien Schumann, who's already stuck his neck out and said possibly a win for the USA. And Brazil, interestingly, unlike many of the other teams, start on Sarah Hughes.
Gee, I'd really love to see this team from Brazil just get forced to start a match out of first gear. They like to work their way into it, but they're just not going to have time to do that.
Little short serve on Ana Patricia, and that was a horrible deflection. Launched herself at the ball and ended up whacking it behind both she and Duda. So 3-1 USA, encouraging start for the Americans. Out of the 3 finals these 2 teams have played, USA have come out on top twice, including that World Championship. Damien, that's still got to be stinging a little bit for the Brazilian pair.
Always would be in the back of their heads as well, even though the ledger is at 3-all, just having lost a world championship. But again, that might serve Brazil going into the next Olympics as well. So it's great to see just a fantastic rivalry between these 2 incredible teams.
Brazil clearly trying to force the pace, but making errors. Expansive set to Ana Patricia, and she's banged one out over the baseline. This is fairly standard stuff, Damien. Brazil don't get off to flyers.
No, and I thought just the indication of that first rally, and even the way that Ana Patricia chased that net clip as well, I was like, oh, okay, she's ready to go. She's up and about for this. And of course, she's always mentally up and about, but sometimes she just doesn't quite get the right hand contact on things till about halfway through the first set.
That's why USA are keeping the serves on her. Nice adjustment. One thing that you can always rely on from Ana Patricia is that for a player that stands 6'4", her movement is stunning.
She also is just such a threat with the hard hit that sometimes off-pace shots like that, or shots that maybe aren't that good, it's just because she's so intimidating on that hard spike. Teams have to just respect that.
A little too wide on the set from Cheng to Sarah Hughes. Brazil asking a point on their own serve.
And a big point to the crowd as well. It'll be the 3rd team member for Brazil.
Out of the middle. Nice change-up. So something that Cheng and Hughes have developed with their coach, Jordan Cheng, is the ability to set wide and fast out to the antenna, but also to go back to game plan A and keep it close to the middle. Plenty of variety in the game from the Americans. Clubbing blow down the line.
The other thing that fast offense does for Team USA is it really just overloads Ana Patricia in terms of having to take those little side steps blocking. It's not something she's all that comfortable with that lateral movement along the net.
First option of the day is stuffed back on the sand by Ana Patricia, and Brazil back on level terms.
Good reach, good hang time. Good adjustment to go half a heartbeat later, just recognising the 2-ball shot was coming.
Another great touch from her. Well recovered by Hughes. And too much from Cheng as she bangs it out over the baseline. And this is when you can start to feel rattled in front of this crowd. Duda goes Hughes again. Hughes stays middle, too tight to the net. Patricia puts it down. And I think it's fair to say, Damien, Brazil are now officially out of first gear.
They absolutely are, and they were forced to on the 5-2 end, and then all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, 2 points up. And you can just see the Brazilians starting to really, they look so relaxed, but they're still working with the crowd. They're creating their own energy.
Better option from Cheng. She's been served a heck of a lot at this tournament, so she won't have set a huge amount of balls. She won't have been able to hit a tremendous amount of her options off of the pass of Sarah Hughes. And change up to Duda. She hammers into the pocket, and she'll trust herself on that power throughout the game.
Always so special to see Duda, just technically one of the best arm swings in the world. You have no idea whether she's going to shoot the ball or hit the ball hard down the line or angle. It's a very neutral elbow, neutral starting position.
Hughes getting all the traffic, little hurry up. Well read by Duda. Quite getting the set that she was hoping for from Patricia, but a few concerning signs for Team USA already.
It's really interesting at this stage of the Olympic cycle as well. Both these teams are eyeing off a gold medal at Paris, and they're probably thinking that we might have to play each other at some stage along that journey. So just testing out perhaps people they haven't served. And even though it is a quarter-final, it seems risky, but you really need to know.
Scoops by both defenders. Inventive play from Patricia, but well covered. And Kelly Cheng roofed again. Patricia is in the zone.
So this is where the coaching becomes really interesting, saying, yes, we usually serve player X, but you know what, today, just in case we have to play them in the Olympics, we need to have a sound strategy against the other player as well. So always interesting when we're getting closer to an Olympic Games.
Yeah, good work. Yeah, we haven't had to talk about pushing for points with these two because they are home and dry with regard to Paris. This is more about what's going to happen in France. USA hanging tough, and again going for that shorter serve strategy on Patricia, but not coming off. That's a superb play from Hughes, and very deliberately done. So timeout arrives, 11-10. Brazil hang on to the lead, but lively comeback from the USA.
Very obvious strategy from Brazil as well. They have to serve tough. If Team USA is out of system, it means they can't run their little fast shoot plays, their option plays, the fast play through the middle, and that's Team USA's game. So those tough serves, you can see when Team USA's out of system, under bit more pressure. Whereas on the other side of the court for Brazil, when they're out of system and the first pass isn't that good because of a tough serve, they look a little bit better in terms of the bump setting control. They just put the ball high on top of the net, and they are very, very comfortable just ripping their arms through the ball from all sorts of different sets and positions on the court. So interesting little chess match starting from the baseline.
It's been a bit of everything so far. Not really settling into a rhythm yet. Not a great pass from Patricia, but still Duda puts it into the window. Patricia clubs it, and Hughes can't quite control the power. Brazil 12-10 in this race to 21.
Great out of system bump set. That just is the perfect position for Patricia to unload on top of the net.
Clever from Kelly Cheng, trying to open up a few different ideas here for Brazil to consider.
If the pass is good from Team USA, Brazil in a huge amount of trouble with that option play.
Duda Duda steps confidently into the seam to take the ball. Cheng gets her hands on her first block and the second. And Duda means business here. That is a wonderful rally. That's a brilliant, brilliant play from both sides, but it's USA that come up with the point.
Probably the first time I've really seen Patricia stopped on that shoot play. For Cheng to get across laterally about 5 meters and move sideways to the left of screen and then still be able to seal her block and not be a tool, that is extraordinary athleticism.
Really took a huge jump on that one, but Duda had already seen where the space was, manages to shoot it on the line. Establish a small lead, but this is a really interesting watch because this has not settled at all. Both teams are just jabbing at each other here. Clever, clever. That's a beautiful play from Kelly Cheng. Far more confidence now in the USA swagger. Cheng short on Duda. It's a wonderful touch from Hughes. Oh, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The coverage is insane from both sets of players, and USA win the next monumental rally.
The ball class between these four athletes is just out of control. To be able to just not only be in the right spot to cover, but then get the cut shot dig out of the net. Perfect sets. And don't the crowd just appreciate what's happening in front of them right now?
Even though USA won the point, they had to show their appreciation. Just long. What a great piece of judgment. Good eye from Duda, and round we go. Level pegging.
It's funny, isn't it? You always have just one of the rallies of the tournament, and then a moment later a service error. A point is just a point, and while some points feel mentally a little bit more than others, that's what you have to do at the highest level. Just go, yep, okay, 14 all. Doesn't matter that we're potentially getting blocked a couple of times on our shoot play that nobody does. We've just got to keep at it.
Traditional, up and down, and Patricia just claws the net, so USA certainly managing to stabilise things. There was a few moments of seemingly panic in the US pair as Brazil started to find some rhythm, but they're back into their game now. And they go Duda this time. Well, slightly fortunate, the net tape sucks that away from the defence of Sarah Hughes.
It's always a really good indication as to whether the set was where a player wanted it on that last step. So we could see on that last step, Duda had to take a big step to the left of screen, which just meant she couldn't quite get the required height on her jump.
Pressure serve for Hughes. Oh, again, wonderful, inventive play from Team USA to keep the scoreboard ticking over.
Brazil will be kicking themselves. That was a pretty standard and easy free ball, and they created it off a tough pass. But unfortunately, Brazil not quite capitalising on that opportunity.
A couple of serves in a row to Duda. And she's whacked it line and out. Another serve that she had to chase a little bit.
Again, Duda, she doesn't have the biggest jump in the world. She's got pretty much the best arm swing in the world. But again, if she just has to just go sideways a little bit, either inside or outside on that set, it just lowers her spiking so much.
Pressure swing and a little game of cat and mouse with the other defender, Sarah Hughes. Brazil's serving pressure now is getting through to Hughes, and a clash between the two Americans leaves Kelly Cheng on the floor, and a freebie for Brazil.
I think she may have rolled her ankle here, potentially.
Yeah, and you can see the ow, ow, ow just indicates that's a stinger at the moment. Let's hope it's nothing more than that.
Might have been that contact there, potentially. Yeah, that's when she... oh, no, it's okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better about the situation. It might have just been a contact, a little bit of friendly fire with her own partner. maybe even just a little corky potentially in the quad even. It didn't look like she was all that effective with that sideways movement after the clash at the net, the joust at the net. So that just means to me that I think she will be okay. It's the scary ones are when players land on each other's foots. That's when the ankles or the knees can go. So a little bit of friendly fire, a little bit of contact, I think won't hurt her too much.
Kelly Cheng is up and about, but still Brazil go after Hughes. Who's trying to produce a few tricks out there just to keep Brazil guessing. There's been some superb rallies, Damien, but it's been quite a scattergun approach for both teams.
No one's quite settled because everyone has both made errors and everyone's sided out as well. So there's no hard and fast strategy that we're seeing from either team. And again, when you're talking about two of the best teams in the world, they don't know exactly who to go after either.
Hughes would dearly love a point here. Duda very confidently into the middle. And wraps it cross court onto the blue tape. Another very accurate hit from her.
You just love to see that when a serve really splits a team right down the middle. Someone just taking control, Duda stepping into the middle, running behind, delivering.
This time Brazil goes short. First time they've served Kelly Cheng, and Sarah Hughes turns blocker. How about that?
Well, that's one for the highlight reel to show the kids. Time I got a block on centre court against one of the best hitters in the world, and that is heartbreaking for Ana Patricia.
Couple of opportunities gone begging for Brazil. Better short serve on Ana Patricia, who just cuts it straight over the top of the block. Calm as you like. 19 all. It's going to, I suspect, Damien, come down to a moment of brilliance to crack the nut in set one. Tough serve. They've changed up to Cheng, and miscommunication between the Americans. Cheng went for the shoot ball, went for the inside, and Hughes went for the shoot ball, and it's Brazil with the point.
Well, they have to shake that point off pretty quickly because obviously they must side out this point.
Single set point on their own serve, and Ana Patricia takes it with her fourth block of the set, and Brazil find a couple of points when they most need them. 21-19, Brazil lead the world champions by a set to 0.
Well, Team USA, they didn't do a lot wrong in that set, but that slight miscommunication there on their offense, that is certainly going to be in the back of their heads coming into the second set. They need to shake it off pretty quickly. Very interesting that Brazil, well, a lot of teams have gone away from serving the smaller of the two players from USA, Sarah Hughes, because of just how effective Cheng's two-ball option plays are. So really interesting to see Cheng. They tested Sarah Hughes, and again, interesting to see Cheng just as good as ever on the option play, whether it's a behind knuckle, an angle swing, or a swing with her wrist across her body back to the line. She has a huge amount of control on that. So Brazil, towards the back end of that first set, just starting to target Cheng again, just to force Sarah Hughes to come in and bump set the ball and just take away those option plays. So a more traditional strategy starting to creep in for Brazil that we've seen over the past 6 encounters.
Nice tactical change-up by Team Brazil, and it worked a treat. But USA by no means outclassed in the opener. Away we go with set 2. Brazil in the shade, in the green. The #1 seeds lead the match by to 0, so it's USA that are chasing the game, and Sarah Hughes and Kelly Cheng will need to find their very best in set 2. It'll be fascinating, Damien Shim, to see where Brazil go. Are they going to go back to Hughes? They do. Cheng can't get the full power on that pokey. Nice scoop again by Hughes. Just can't find the angle though. And 2 quick points for Brazil will put a lot of pressure on USA. USA have to side this one.
It's still very early stages of the second set, but worrying signs for Team USA.
Well, Damien, clearly USA are building things into their game that we haven't seen for the previous season. So maybe it's just a bit of time before that beds in.
And it's a great time to test it in a quarter-final against one of the best teams in the world that you're probably going to have to overcome during the Olympic tournament. And that's what elite teams do. They have to be brave in these situations. They have to be like, okay, even though we're a little bit uncomfortable running this certain play, a new set, a new style of defense, we have to test it at the highest level, at an Elite 16 main draw level in a quarterfinal to potentially just check whether it works or not come Olympics.
Big swing from Duda. She's missed the block and the court, so USA sneak another point. Cheng serves Duda, sprints into the net. Smoothly done. So Duda hasn't had it all her own way by any means today, but manages to find the blue tape again.
And it's really interesting as well from Brazil. Potentially they might be in the back of their head go, okay, when it comes down to it, we're going to serve Cheng at the back end of the set just to make sure she doesn't have that option play on her. We're going to keep her on the ice till then and not really let her see a pass. Even though they're going to have to put up with a few of those sorts of shots from Sarah Hughes because Cheng is just so good at hand setting. Sarah Hughes' bump set can be a little bit wayward at times. And look, I'm working very hard to find weaknesses in Team USA. It's not a big criticism, but a good strategy to maybe just keep Sarah Hughes' bump setting forearms just on ice for the next 10 or so minutes and then maybe at the last second switch to Cheng.
Good serve. Up into the chest of Duda. So USA trying to do a very similar thing to Brazil in terms of their tactical serving strategy to that is being done to them by Brazil.
Moves and counter moves.
We love it. To the line. Tentative pass by Hughes. Nothing tentative about the swing though. That was a belter.
That is just a perfect example of why pretty much the entire world has stopped serving Sarah Hughes. She shanks the ball, Kelly Chen just rolls over, delivers an incredible hand set, and Sarah Hughes elevates so high out of the sand.
Good coverage down the middle, using the furniture to keep the ball live. Brazil go again. And nice hold from Cheng. Pace from Hughes to get to the ball, but Brazil get a third go at this, and Hughes is all over it. Point chance, USA. Not taken. Fourth time of asking, and this is going to be a real leg burner. On the line, USA win the third big rally of this match.
Sarah Hughes taking the option that time, and you could just see her pause in the air as her heart stopped as she just watched that ball sail to the outside of the line. We'll see the reaction here. And then collapse to the sand to have a little rest.
5 apiece. Good bounce back from Team USA. So very similar feel to set 2 to that we saw in set 1. He slides one to the sand without power. I love this standoff between the defenders right now.
Sorry, but Anna Patricia, just her bump setting and hand setting, every time she sets the ball, she just puts so much body weight. She uses her legs, the hands follow through, and that ball is just hovering in the air for an eternity for Duda to make her mind up.
Huge, absolutely huge. Anna Patricia's block remains one of the weapons in world beach volleyball right now.
Great timing as well, a little bit tighter. The temptation for a blocker there is to just go earlier if the ball's tighter, but she just waited for Sarah Hughes to jump, and then on the way up was still climbing on her block and sealing that line perfectly. What Sarah Hughes wants to do is use her athleticism to out-hang a blocker and then go off the top or find an angle. So really good timing from Anna Patricia.
Change up from USA. Anna Patricia is served and she's roasted that. I mean, that's literally unplayable. Down the seam, onto the baseline.
And that's what you want from a big, dominant blocker. Just trying to make a statement. If you're going to serve me, that is what I'm going to do to you. Go back on my partner and we'll just keep things nice, exactly how they've been going. Well, I'll keep working on my setting, and Duda can just really settle into a side-out groove here.
Great shot of our drone that's bringing us some of these aerial pictures on centre court and around the stadium. Couldn't get a big swing on that. And Kelly Cheng, I think, felt Sarah Hughes was going to get back to cover there, but it's over on one, and it's point Brazil, and they've opened up another lead. They are having to scrap very hard, Damien, the Americans, to stay in this.
They are. It's not looking comfortable at the moment. And again, Brazil really trying to just do everything they can to break that first pass of Team USA so they can't run the offense that they want.
The chance for Patricia to burst the Mikasa, but instead goes with a spinner down the line. Oh, there we go. Over on one again, and is it out? It is out. Wow. Well, you could put your mortgage on Duda making that shot.
It's always risky, the one ball, isn't it? If it goes in, you look like a hero and you devastate the other team. If you miss, everyone goes, why didn't you just set your partner?
Oh, followed by the ace. And just like that, the momentum swings back to Team USA, and Brazil have got to be careful here.
Right on the baseline. Perfect as you could ever ask for the floats of Team USA. Well done, back in business. Trying to go short, trying to go deep, really just challenging whoever they serve. Duda's, well, for the last 10 or so minutes has been the serving target, and they've managed to find a couple of points on Patricia.
US coach Jordan Cheng watching on. Looking a little twitchy, understandably so. I'm twitchy watching it, Damien. This is four players that are putting each other under horrendous pressure.
Yeah, and it's just, you're right, all four players are being tested. There's no real serving target, so it's quite strange in a way, but as a beach volleyball fan, you're getting to see lots of variety.
Another cracking block, block number 6, planted on the sand by Patricia. The MCs are happy, the crowd are happy. It's all going rather well for the #1 seeds.
It's a fascinating match to analyse because, as you mentioned a moment ago, all four players are being served. There's short serves, there's deep serves. Brazil looks so comfortable on maybe Cheng for a little bit, and then they switch to Hughes, and Patricia gets a block. Duda's being tested, running behind, and there is just all sorts of tactics happening, and no team feeling comfortable, just like the MC. That's exactly how I feel as well. I just don't know what's going on.
There's an element of randomness to this whole match, and it's caught us a little bit by surprise. We were expecting a rather more structured approach from both teams, but going at it from the baseline and everything else.
Well, I think the answer is that they've both had, well, they've had a lot of experience. Of course, these two teams have played against each other 6 times and in some big moments, and they maybe just feel they don't want to let any player get into rhythm, because any of these four players, when they're in rhythm and they receive a lot of the ball and they're comfortable siding out, well, that is big danger signs. So doing a good job of just keeping everyone on their toes at the moment.
Just out. So Brazil can't find the target. Coming back from the technical timeout, USA have to go back to work again. They were a little more vocal in that timeout than they have been. Relatively easy pass for Patricia. And again, X marks the spot. I reckon she's just hit the ball mark she hit about 3 minutes ago.
The great thing about Duda's setting and Patricia's offense there is just sometimes it's a fast shoot and sometimes it's a little bit more of a tempo play, and somehow they intuitively just communicate whether it's going to be a really fast shoot play to the stick or whether it's just got a little bit more height. Either way, you know that there's greater just going to be left on the opposition's sand.
And I love what our TV director and camera operators are doing down there, giving us all sorts of views of this hectic game. There we go, I've finally found the right word for this match, hectic.
Yes. Perfect description.
Brazil have forged a lead they can take to the bank here. The USA battle back. Easy coverage. Duda just sits in, waits for the ball to be channeled to her, and then cuts it past the block of Cheng for a 4-point lead Timeout USA.
Well, every time that Brazil has pulled away by a few points and we just start to feel comfortable about what might be happening, Team USA in a very, very quick succession has managed to get a dig, get a block, or get an ace. So by no means is this set or match over, but this is the biggest lead of the match to Brazil right now.
Placing tomorrow's semi-finals up for grabs. And in front of the home fans, the Brazilian team's determined to impress.
And I think we've been successful every time in like trouble moments when like really
God, it's a fascinating insight, isn't it? Just being there right in a team's timeout, and you can just see definitely not a heated conversation, but I just think maybe there's been perhaps a bit of disagreement tactically about who they're serving after. So Cheng just taking a little bit of control there in that timeout. But the first job is for Team USA to get this side out.
Patricia goes Hughes again, and that was a wrong hand option swing. Darted down to the sand, as coach Jordan Cheng calls it.
It's just a wonderful indication that you've done something fantastic when the crowd is absolutely silent and you can hear a pin drop in Brazil.
Silence is golden for the Americans here in Brasilia. Again, solid control from Duda. And Brazil keeping this lead.
Duda almost in an awkward position and wasn't exactly where the set wanted. Pretty lucky to get off the top of the hands of Cheng in that instance. So Brazil get away with one with a very healthy lead.
How much space Kelly Cheng is taking. But still they go Hughes. Tight. Nearly. And Patricia fancied that one.
Well done, Sarah Hughes. That serve was just going straight down the line. That is such a difficult thing to do, to laterally pass the ball out on your right side and then still come in with perfect timing.
Great shot from our end on camera. More hustle from Brazil. And USA have a chance. It's tight, but it is out. And Brazil survived that one.
Oh, and it's heartbreaking as well, and I hate to say it, it's just the one chink in Team USA's armour. Sarah Hughes' bump setting is sometimes she just misses it ever so slightly, whether it's in transition or side out.
Way out of system, easy pass for Duda. Tries to shift it up for the option swing, and Patricia read the script just in time.
What a swing. The coaches getting a little bit vocal as well. Always interesting to see the body language of coaches. Sometimes they're leaning forward, biting their fingernails, and other times they become supporters.
Good touch from Patricia. Oh, that is very, very good. And everything Brazil touch at the moment is turning to points.
The ball control, absolutely sublime, whether it's on 1, 2, or 3 hits in transition. They look like they're out of position, with Brazil finding a way.
Am I being an idiot, or does it still feel like Brazil aren't playing great and they're still annihilating their opponents?
Couldn't agree more. Still making some untoward errors.
5 is the lead. USA running out of points. Hughes is on it. They've got to get this right. And Duda turns blocker this time, and both the defenders have a block in the match, and that block takes Brazil to match point, and plenty of them.
Wry smile on the face of Duda, getting a block in transition, getting one back on Team USA.
Well, this game has flown by. Can USA extend it? They can. Sweet angle from Hughes, but the luxury on the side switch for Brazil, having plenty of points in the bank to attack for the win.
It's turned into an extraordinary scoreline. There's nothing between these two teams, and then all of a sudden Brazil just stepped things up again from the baseline with even more aggressive, accurate serving.
Brazilian teams just love playing in front of the home fans. It's great work from the USA to stay in it. But ball into the net gives Brazil the win, and the #1 seeds are into the semi-finals. They've beaten the team that beat them in the World Championships. Hughes and Cheng exit at the quarters, and Patricia and Duda march on by 2-0. In the end,
Well, the
Damien,